Light him up. Yo! How's it going, reactors? We got episode 3 of House of the Dragon. Hopefully you have been enjoying not only my reactions, but this season. Episode 1 was a banger. Episode 2 was a banger. Even without the action, it was good. Now with episode 3, we are getting some action. So you know I'm hyped for episode 3. But hopefully you have seen my reaction to episode 1 and episode 2, because if you have, I truly appreciate you. But first, before we reel it in, I'm gonna need you guys to like this video because it truly helps with the YouTube algorithm. But with that being said, guys, you know what time it is. It's time to reel it in. There he is.
Valerian is coming for you! The sea snake will have your boxes again! No, 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 please! Ah!
Ew. Right through the hand. Who knew crabs could be so ruthless? And I love crabs. Oh. We starting off this episode with fire. I love it.
Dear my prince, save me!
He said save me and just got stomped on. Damn. An ant met a boot. Dracarys. Damn. Oh.
Where are you?
Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh! And that is why you wear armor. Daemon brought the fire.
He does have my head.
He has your eyes, your grace.
Yes, he does.
Whew. Another time jump. 2 years old.
The matter of the stepstones is regrettably urgent.
It's been 3 years. It can wait another 3 days.
Viserys not giving a crap.
Perhaps the princess might like to hear something else.
She would not. Play it again.
Run it back.
Rhaenyra? Yes, my queen. Your presence is wanted in the outer courtyard. You may go, Samwell.
You are to stay by order of the princess.
The queen commands you to leave the Godswood at once.
Oh, look. They button heads already.
King has much to celebrate. He does not need me.
He wants for us all to be together.
Is it the king's command?
This is going to be an interesting episode. I already know it.
Hail, hail, Aegon the Conqueror bade, second of his name. Here's to his grace on his second name day.
Your dear uncle is the great mind behind this war, is he not?
I wouldn't know. I've not spoken to Daemon in years.
Since you supplanted him as heir.
Daemon made his choices, Lady Keira. The princess was more suited to the role.
So they haven't spoken to Daemon in years. Does that go with Corlys, too? Since both of them decided to go about this war themselves.
Lord Jason Lannister.
Gathered that from all the lions.
Ew. A Lannister. Ew. We don't like Lannisters.
I don't have a dragon pit, of course, but I do have the means and resources to build one.
Why would you need a dragon pit?
To house dragons, of course. I'd do anything for my queen. Or lady wife.
Yo's trying to pull game.
Thank you for the wine.
Instead, you just scared her off. Another L for a Lannister.
You're of age, Rhaenyra. Jason Lannister is an excellent match.
He's arrogant and self-serious.
Well, I thought you might have that in common. But you've refused me at every turn.
That is because I do not wish to get married.
Even I do not exist above tradition and duty, Rhaenyra.
Excuse me, Your Grace.
They forgot they were in public.
The Royal Huntsman has sent a report, Your Grace. There's been a sighting of a white hart. The stag is the king of the King's Wood, Your Grace, a regal portent for Prince Aegon's nameday.
Yo, she pulled the Batman and just dipped. Sir Kristen Cole. You just gonna let her walk off? Well, run off.
Princess, wait!
She flying.
What happened back there?
My father trying to sell me off to Jason Lannister.
You want me to kill him?
Thought he was serious for a second. I like Sir Kristen Cole. I hope he lives a long, happy life.
I had this forged in the Golden Gallery in honor of Prince Aegon.
It's quite a thing.
I hope it might provide the killing stroke against your white hart. I would be honored to take the Princess Rhaenyra to wife, Your Grace. If someone offered you more dragons, would you not take them?
Do you have dragons to offer?
No.
Castle Rock is a splendid seat. Rhaenyra may take her place there by my side without shame and feel herself well compensated for her loss in station. If you were to name young Aegon heir, Your Grace.
And when would I be doing that?
I had assumed, as he's your firstborn son,
That he would just jump over Rhaenyra.
I did not decide to name Rhaenyra my heir on a whim. All the lords of the kingdom would do well to remember that.
Yeah, defend your daughter. I like that. Because he talking crazy.
The huntsman has the trail, Your Grace, and has sent out the hounds. It won't be long now until the white hart is cornered. Your prize is within reach. She'll do as you command. It is not my wish to command her, Otto. I want her to be happy.
Right. That's a difference between Otto and Viserys. Otto commands his daughter.
Who do you have in mind? Prince Aegon. The boy just turned 2, Otto. Yes,
Right.
but it would cease the endless proposals for Rhaenyra's hand.
Yeah. Otto is wild for saying that. But I would not be surprised if it happens. Going full Robert Baratheon and getting drunk the day of the hunt.
You believe that your son, Sir Harwin Breakbones, the strongest knight in the 7 kingdoms, is the best match for Rhaenyra.
You flatter me, Your Grace, but no.
Wow.
It would seem to me the best match for Rhaenyra is the son of the sea snake, Sir Laenor. We must pray, of course, that Laenor survives the fighting in the Stepstones.
That too.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
No.
I have no choice but to, Princess.
Someone pulled up on them. Oh snap, so snap. Hey, remember, that same thing took out Robert Baratheon.
I thought Rhaenyra was the way out of my abyss of grief and regret, and naming her heir would begin to set things right.
Oh, it did.
I never imagined I would remarry. That I would have a son. What if I was wrong?
Well, so it begins.
One more time, Your Grace. Put a bit to your left.
Just doing that has him tired. Viserys is going through it in this episode. What? Wow. Wow, it's all white too. That was stunning. Was that a gift from the gods?
Aegon, like his namesake, was born to rule the 7 kingdoms. You mustn't ignore the certain truth that if Rhaenyra were to step over Aegon to ascend the throne, the realm would tear itself apart. Rhaenyra is a woman. The road ahead is uncertain, but the end is clear. Aegon will be king. You must guide Viserys towards reason.
Look at him. Commanding Commanding. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. That's Otto for you.
Rhaenyra has come of age. She must needs marry a High Lord who will honor her, defend her, and serve her as king consort.
But she must believe it is her choice to do so. What's this?
A letter.
This is a plea for aid.
Ah.
Then I pose a simpler question. Is it better for the realm if the Crabfeeder thrives, or is vanquished?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
Aid is sailing to the Stepstones.
Did he make call for help?
He would sooner die. Do you not think my decision correct?
It is no consequence to what I think, as I'm often reminded.
Daemon is thorn enough in my flesh. Will you insist on taking after him? Why must every effort on your behalf be resisted, as if to the death?
Because you mean to replace me with Alicent Hightower's son. You have him in hand now. You have no further use for me. You might stop petting me for what you can.
I do not seek to replace you, child. What would you have me do?
If it was for advantage, you would have wed Lena Velaryon.
That is true enough. You must marry.
Show me the knight who will march into that hell pit, nephew, and I will show you a madman.
Daemon.
Daemon is why we are losing.
He at least is fighting this war. What role have you played in this council, uncle, other than master of complaints?
If you do not seize control of this war, my lord, the crabs will soon dine on all of us.
Your brother wants to send you aid. What is he gonna do with that letter? That's my question.
I have ordered 10 ships and 2,000 men to set sail from King's Landing. I shall pray nightly to the gods for your safe return.
Damn, look at that. Ooh. Oh, he is scarred.
Knock.
Something feels off. Something feels off. This is a trap. Oh, this is a trap. It's a damn trap. Oh, Daemon! Woo! Ooh, that boy's booking it! Oh, nasty. Yo, he's doing it himself. A one-man army right now. Oh! Oh! Oh, hell's about to break loose. From the skies. His dragon is coming. I'm telling you. Jeez, that's a lot. What they wanted. This is the plan. Good plan. Light him up. Yo! Did not expect him to be the rider.
Dragon! Woo!
right there. Go after him. Corlys getting some work in. Wow! Don't take out your own people, though. Wait, no way. He took him out already? Yo, he took him out already. Oh, God. He cut him in half. Ah, I wanted to see it. Damn. Yo. That was something else. That was something else. 3 episodes in a row and they've all been just straight Dracarys. Fire. Super hot fire. I love it. There you have it, episode 3, House of the Dragon. I'm gonna start this review by saying episode 1 was a banger, episode 2 is a banger, and obviously, as we have watched and seen, as you guys have seen, episode 3 is none other than a banger episode. Man, this was good. This was good. The politics, the characterization, and then lastly, giving us what we wanted. That action. And it did not disappoint. Saving the best for last. Now, the start of this episode, I was so shocked. I did not expect it to start out that way. I mean, straight up Dracarys, fire everywhere. The Crabfeeder and his men all burned to a crisp, thanks to Daemon Targaryen. And the Crabfeeder in this episode, his scars, everything about him just looked disgusting and cruel. I love it. I love it, but I will say this. I'm going to be hopping, back and forth in this review. I will say this. I wish we got that fight between Daemon and the Crabfeeder. Obviously, Daemon was going to win, but as us, the audience, we would have loved to see it. The man was just straight cut in half. I would have loved to seen it, Why stop there? Now, at the beginning of this episode started off with another time jump, as now Viserys and Alicent have a son, Aegon Targaryen. So you already know what problems that brings. So this whole episode is just a celebration for the 2-year-old Aegon Targaryen. And Rhaenyra is nowhere to be found because deep down, it took her a while to officially say her truth to her father. Rhaenyra was clearly feeling some type of way in this episode, thinking that people want to see Aegon be the next heir instead of her. And that was really, truly getting to her. But Viserys had to settle it down in the middle of the episode and tell her that that won't happen. So we shall see. We shall see if he actually keeps his promise. But that was truly bothering Rhaenyra this whole time. And then Viserys being in the wrong, trying to serve her off to House Lannister. We don't like Lannisters here. No, we don't like the Lannisters here. But, yeah, that was wrong. And she got on him about that. And then her flat out telling him she's not in the mood to marry anyone. She's not looking for anyone. She doesn't want to be that person. And he was like, this is your duty. You are of age. Time is ticking. You need to secure an advantage, because that is what marrying someone brings back in that time. It's not out of love. It's more of out of an advantage. And that is what Viserys was telling her. So, very good talks in this episode between Viserys and Rhaenyra. Also, I want to add on that scene when that white elk appeared. That was amazing. That was so beautiful to look at. I think that white elk just represents so much more. And just for that white elk to appear in front of Rhaenyra and Sir Criston Cole was an amazing scene to look at. But like I said, I'll be jumping back and forth in this review. But also, at the beginning of this episode, there is a strain on the relationship between Alicent and Rhaenyra. We already knew this was going to happen, but to see it happen so quickly in this episode as over them sort of, going back at each other, over the guy playing music, and they were just going back and forth until, you know, Alicent, you know, showed her power by saying, I am the queen, you may leave. So you have the princess and the queen. That was a slight little tease and foreshadow for episodes to come before these two start butting heads as their older selves, as we have seen in the trailers. Now back to Viserys in this episode. Not only was this man dealing with the pain in his side, as he was called it, of Rhaenyra, but also the birthday of Aegon, but also the amount of people that came up to him giving out their opinion of what the king should do. You could definitely feel it in this episode, as the man was just completely tired of everyone in this episode, except for Rhaenyra at a time and Lady Alicent, but everyone else he was kind of tired of in this episode, to the point he was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get drunk. I'm gonna get drunk. And then he decided to open up to Alicent, and he shares his truth with Lady Alicent about how he feels like he's being pulled. One side is pulling him for Aegon to surpass Rhaenyra, and he feels like that would make the mass of people happy. Then on the other side, it's staying truthful and sticking with none other than his daughter, Rhaenyra. So he feels like a man that's just being outstretched in this episode, and as a king, he's got to keep his composure, because he did lash out in public. As you guys saw my reaction, I was very shocked that he would do such a thing. But, you know, Rhaenyra at the time was getting to him. But yeah, Viserys at this moment feels like he's being pulled. Last thing he wants is his daughter, Rhaenyra, being mad at him, because it's already hard enough to deal with Daemon, let alone Corlys, those two going behind your back. And then obviously all the people who look up to Viserys as king. You don't want to lose them either. But out of everyone else, Rhaenyra is the one that Viserys does not want to lose. So yeah, a lot was going on with House Targaryen in this episode. Let's not forget that wild boar that almost killed Rhaenyra in this episode. I mean, Sir Criston Cole stabs it, and then Rhaenyra proceeds to take it out. But at a point during that episode, I had a flashback of Game of Thrones Season 1 when Robert Baratheon got killed by the wild boar. I was just like, wow, man, these wild boars are at it again. When it comes to any type of Game of Thrones content from now on, let's just be aware of any wild boars in Season 1 of any other Game of Thrones spin-off series that we get so far. But obviously, saving it best for last in this episode, and as I will do with this review, the battle. But before this battle started to take place, Viserys was convinced by none other than Alicent to send aid. But he was so unsure of himself, because as a king in his position, you're sending aid to the two people that, you know, went behind your back and started this war. So Viserys already hates Daemon to begin with, and now Corlys. So he was left with a decision. Do I send aid and give in, or do I stand my ground and don't? And Lady Alicent poses a really good question to get Viserys to send aid by simply asking him, is it better for the realm if the Crabfeeder thrives or is vanquished? Right then and there, Viserys was like, you know what? I'll send aid, therefore helping my brother out, being that generous, nice king that Alicent wanted to see. So he sends aid, and right then and there, once that letter was handed to Daemon, he read it, gave it a second, and was like, no. And absolutely started wailing on the guy. Next thing you know, he paddles himself all the way over there, starts dropping bodies, doing it himself, a one-man army, no dragon at the moment, just going crazy. He reeled all of them in by waving the white flag, giving up himself by handing over his sword, just to reel them in and take them out. That was, they set that up so perfectly. It was very smart of Daemon to reel them all in. Next thing you know, they have Daemon cornered, and then Corlys and his men show up. And none other than that, his son is riding a dragon. Did not expect that to happen. His son is riding a dragon, burning all of these guys alive. It was great this was a good ending to that episode. A very good ending to that episode. But that's going to conclude this review. You guys saw my reaction. You know my thoughts now. I enjoyed this episode. 3 out of 3 episodes so far have been good. This is, if I had to give it a ranking, it would be a 4.5 out of 5 stars. But why is it not a 5 out of 5, Miles? I really wanted to see the Crabfeeder go out to Daemon. There you have it. But yeah, you guys comment down below what you guys thought about this episode, what you thought about my reaction, and what do you expect in episode 4. Comment that down below and let me know. Make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notifications because plenty of more reactions are on the way. I just dropped my first 2 episode reactions to Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. So be sure to check that out. But thank you guys for watching this reaction and reeling it in with me. I truly appreciate it. This is Reeled In Reactions. I am Reeled In Miles. I'll catch you guys next time for episode 4. Peace.